What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD PHINS TALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Y'all hit that like button on your way in as usual. All right. I need to do an audio check real quick. So if anybody's filed in, give me an audio check. Let me know that you can hear me plain and clear. All right, in the comment section. Go ahead and let me know if you can hear me plain and clear. Just want to make sure I set up something properly. All right. Shout out to Brad Boss is up in here. Miss Fins, I love you. Loud and clear. Yeah, you good. Awesome, man. Awesome. So, all right. Your audio is good. Thank y'all. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, make sure you punch the like button. If you're watching on X, make sure you come over to YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel. But the Miami Dolphins need to make these exact decisions. I'm gonna do a little monologue tonight and talk to y'all about all the decisions that the Dolphins need to make. Like in order. I'm gonna lay it all out to you right here on the stream. And this is what I think could put us in a much better position sooner rather than later. So I'm gonna break all that down and talk through it. I'm also watching this Chiefs Lions game, so I figure, man, let's have a detailed conversation on some of the best moves that the Dolphins can make right now, decisions they can make, and why they would be good for the team long term. All right. So again, we're about to get started in less than a minute, so make sure that you punch the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, let your friends and family members know that we're live as well. I see y'all in the comment section. Uh, man, yeah, I mean, I don't even really want to get into that press conference and all of that other stuff. I just want to do this because at the end of the day, it's just almost like it's a wrap at this point. We got to think about best moves for the future in our current circumstance. So let's dive in. All right. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's important to start the conversation out talking about the fact that the Miami Dolphins, the last year or two, a year and a half, they've been in an impossible situation that it was always destined to get to the point that we're at right now. And they literally had to almost make all many of the decisions they made. And I know that sounds weird to some of you all. They had to make a lot of the decisions that they made because they put themselves in that situation. And they couldn't. I mean, I'm sure there were better opportunities to get players or make the roster better, but they couldn't. They couldn't. This is what they kind of pigeonholed themselves into. And one thing that no one really talks about is the fact that almost everything that could go wrong went wrong in the entire rebuild and everything. Almost everything that could have went wrong. Every positive turned into a negative. Every win turned into a loss. Every investment turned into a almost a waste. I mean, you just got to think about all the factors. And this isn't a Mike McDaniel and Brian Flores thing, but it also goes back to Brian Flores. Even back then in that era, you got to look at the roster as a whole, the decisions they made, how they were wasting players. Remember, and then when they fired Flores, it got worse. Remember, we had Van Noy, and we moved on from him. He's still playing at a high level in this league, but we did Andrew Van Giegel. We did a lot of that mess, a lot of bad decisions going back, tons of them, and they put themselves in this situation. And here's the key: they had so many opportunities to get out of the situation. The problem is there was one piece, and one piece in particular, that they bet on and they lost. They bet on it, man. It was their everything, and y'all already know who I'm talking about. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa. They bet on him, man. They put the house on this man. They went and got Tyreek. They went in, and here's the crazy thing. You know how we always talk about the O-line? We've invested in the O-line. Now, it may have not have worked out, but we have made the investment. We may have high profile players at positions. We made some investments. And like I said, it may have not have worked out, but we've made investments in the position, to be honest with you. And then you have to do right by those players and make sure that they get an opportunity to develop. They couldn't go off of, oh, well, 1 year you didn't do good your rookie year and let's blow it. No, they can't. They were pigeonholed. It's like almost every decision they also had to make because of they bet it all on one player. And I want to repeat what I said. Y'all got to understand, like, building around him, getting the O line that he needs. This is the thing. The Dolphins didn't do a good job calculating anything either. They were just going based off of reaction and what they believe was right that ultimately is turning out to be wrong. In Tua, they literally did everything they could to just build around him. And the problem with that is this: they didn't calculate the time for certain groups of players. Like, for instance, even right now, let me give you the most recent. Jonas Savaiinaea, he wasn't a guarantee. He wasn't a guarantee. We knew that as a rookie, any rookie, you might come into the league struggling at first, but you might have a future. Y'all are saying build a wall. They need to get it right. They're not even allowed to build a wall anymore because you already have investments on the line. Austin Jackson, what, you just gonna throw him away? No, they've given him an extension. I know it's coming up, but that's a value player to them where he gives you solid enough play to where you can win. And you need some of those because you can't keep paying tackles 25 to 30 million a year. So you're not gonna move off of Austin Jackson just like that. Then you look at Jonah. Now Jonah can go 3 years and not be good and still be on that field because you invested the capital you did. So you have to see that through. Maybe he turns out to be good, but if he don't, you got to live through that. You have to live through that. So years go by, hoping certain guys develop. And let me say this: people think that Chris Greer's problem is that he can't draft. Well, he's drafted some great players. We just didn't retain them, and he's also drafted some busts. But you want to know the one thing Chris Greer never really drafted? He never drafted one of the best players in the NFL. What do I mean by that? The top echelon, a top 25 player in the league. He's never He's never drafted one of those. A top 25 player in the NFL. We get really good players. Like Christian Wilkins is a really good player, but is he the best in the league in his position? No. No. Robert Hunt, we love him. I tell y'all, Robert Hunt is the perennial 8. He ain't a 10 out of 10 guard, but he going to be 8 out of 10 100% of the time. And that's huge. But he ain't the best guard in the NFL, a top 3 guard in the NFL. Y'all see where I'm going with it? Where's the player that you drafted that can get the gold jacket? He on his way to getting the gold jacket. Where is that guy? We don't think about those. I know they're rare, but they're frequent enough to where every team grabs them one every 3 to 4 years. Every team at least gets them one every 3 to 4 years. He never has. And y'all keep saying Xavier Howard again. I don't know. Maybe I got to go do my research, but I don't think he's ever been a top 25 player in the NFL. Yeah, top 100, but not top 25. And by the way, 12 of the 25 quarterbacks. You know how they go. So that's what I mean. We haven't done that. And that's where I feel like he really misses out. Where is that real? And you know why I bring that up? Because if we're gonna be out here paying players like they are, then at least be that. You know what I mean? Like for instance, Waddle, the contract Waddle got, I think around 28 million a year. I know receivers cost a lot of money, right? But when we had Tyreek, that's excess. You're excess spending on Waddle. And let's remember when Waddle with Tyreek, production is way down from when he with himself. The production is down. It wasn't even a really good trade-off. That was a bad value to have both of those contracts on the roster when you were going to be force feeding Tyreek when you were at your best anyway. Like Waddle was the guy you might have wanted to go get a O lineman for or something and save some money and go get you a solid receiver. Not a great one, just a solid role player one. Just bad values everywhere. And that's kind of how we messed up the roster to begin with. So Chris Greer, he made some good decisions, y'all, but he also made a lot of bad decisions and never had anything stick as a definitive. We haven't had any definitives. Can y'all tell me what player on the roster that we signed or gave an extension to that's living up to their value? What player, and I'm talking about the significant contracts, is there any player on this roster living up to their value of a contract? And when you're not getting that level of play, then you're always going to be behind. You're always going to lose. If you're not getting that level of play, you're always going to lose. So we got all these contracts with people making money, more money than they're showing on the field consistently. And the truth be told, they showed that before. They even got the money, but we still paid them anyway. So again, they spent all the money. They went crazy just to try their very best to make it work. They got desperate. Got away from X's and O's, if you ask me. And here we are today in this situation. So, what do the Dolphins need to do from this point? Because they've put themselves in a impossible, almost impossible situation. Here's what needs to happen. And I know a lot of people are not gonna agree with my assessment of what needs to happen. I get it, but I'm just telling you these are the best course of actions for the Miami Dolphins. What they should do, and y'all gonna have your own plans. No, they should do this or do that. I get it. And when we have another open panel, I want to hear some of y'all thoughts. But here's what I think they should do. First and foremost, go ahead and keep everybody here right now. I think Chris Greer needs to stay for one because He, knowing the ins and outs, needs to be the one that's starting to purge this roster. If I'm Stephen Ross and company, I'm coming in and I'm making them feel okay. I'm like, listen, man, I don't want y'all to be worried about your jobs right now. Here's what we need to do because we need to figure out a way to build a better team for the future. That's all you need to tell them. And Chris, I want you to fire sell everything that you can to prepare for a 100% reset. 100%. Quarterback and all. All right. Mike, coach these guys up because on this roster right now, within this reset, we might have 10 to 15 guys that we want to retain, but we need to know which ones make the most sense. Who has raw talent? Who has the this and that, can play in any system. And that's it. Keep playing football. You keep playing football. Ain't it's doing, and I understand people want to lose more games. Yeah, that's fine, but I need Greer to do his job, get me all the value I can. And here's a list, Greer. I need you to move these people. No more asking their opinion, giving directives. That's what need to happen. Whoever's in charge of this upstairs, I need you to get rid of Chubb. I need you to go ahead and get me some value for Jalen Phillips. I need you to go ahead and well, I ain't gonna say not a rookie. They don't qualify in that. But I also need you to see if you can find somebody who wants Zach. Don't worry about the money. I'm the one that gotta eat the check anyway. That's what Stephen Rawson should be saying. So that defensive line, Chubb, Phillips, Zach Sealer, I need you to shop them. I need you to shop them. I want you to shop Austin Jackson. Well, he's out, so when he come back, but if he come back in time, right? I want you to shop the other guys like Brewer, Daniels when he healthy. I want you to shop everything. Only thing I don't want you to shop are these players right here. If we drafted them in the last 2 years, obviously Kenneth Grant and all of those guys, Washington's, all of them. If we drafted them in the last 2 years, then we're not moving any of those guys because you're going to be eating money no matter what. So go ahead and clear that roster. Minka Fitzpatrick, see if we got a buyer before the trade deadline. And remember, all I need is 80 cents on the dollar. I don't need a fair trade. If A-Chain is worth a third and I'm trying to get a second, go ahead and take that mid projected third. Uh, fire sale. Fire sale. Anybody with value must go. All right, clearance rack and all, except the players that fall into that criteria. And I'm bringing guys up from the practice squad. I'm signing some older veterans. And Tua's going to go out there every week playing football with whatever he has. We'll still have a top pick. Now, the season is over. The season is completely over. Right here, right there. Soon as the Super Bowl is over, maybe no. As soon as we're eliminated, when the season is over, fire Chris Greer. You got to move on from Chris Greer. It ain't working. Now, if you love him that much, hey, you got an opportunity in the building. That'd be nice. I'm just saying, but football operations, it's failed. He had a good run. It just ain't work out. Greer got to go or get in another role or something. Um, and by the way, that's when the season's over. You can even do that when the trade deadline over if you want. But I would say the best thing any organization can do is go ahead and stick it out to the end of the season and then do it. Now, firing somebody is if you got a loaded team and you still should be competing, but it's going downhill, but you still got a chance. Then that's, yeah. But anyway, after they fired Greer, I would keep Mike McDaniel, and I would have him coach this out one more year. And I would also have Tua Tagovailoa be my quarterback one more year. And I won't be resigning any of those veterans that I had on the roster, Brewer and all of those guys. In the off season, we would be purging all of that stuff, right? And at that point, once we do that, we have to make sure that McDaniel understands that he's technically an interim head coach. Unless he surprises us that year, he's an interim head coach. Obviously, the head coach, but that's kind of what it is. The front office will be making all the personnel decisions. We don't even need any suggestions. That's what I would do. And the reason why I'm not firing McDaniel and I'm playing Tua another season, because I know y'all want him gone. But the reason why you do that is because you don't need to eat that cap space when you're not going to be good next year anyway. You do not need to eat all of that cap space when you're not going to be good anyway. So why not just not be good with him? Because what you don't want to happen, this is once again, nobody considers timing. They don't consider how many years you got on your cycle of players. Like, well, this year we're gonna focus on upgrading the wide receiver room and the O line. Next year we're gonna focus at like a lot of GMs, they run that in a cycle. We're gonna invest in this and that this year. Next year we're gonna invest in this and that. Like they keep the cycle and they let players develop. You don't have much time. You cannot waste years. So the reason why I say that, say you cut Tua right away, you go draft a young quarterback. Bam. Again, this roster ain't even close to being ready. So there go 1 year of his rookie year, and you're probably making him look worse than he is, the rookie. And you probably got one more year of it. And that's already taken 2 years of the cheap contract. Then you start building it. You're building in year 3, okay. You're a little bit more competitive, but this ain't the final stage of the team. Then in year 4, all right, let's go to war, but all of a sudden we talking contracts with people. No, you gotta use it up. You gotta get out of that contract with Tua the best way you can. Eating it all, we messed up. We're not the Denver Broncos and Seattle and all those guys who ate contracts. We are not them. They weren't this behind on a roster. That's another thing. Y'all not thinking about how far behind we are on a roster. And what I mean by that is, how many young players do you have? How many young players do you have for the future? We are so far behind because even the ones we got looking like they're not working out already. Now, not to say they won't turn it up later, but that's where you are. How many young players? So we're far behind on the roster right now. And what I mean by that too is I'm already in the mindset that certain people gone because they're not a part of the future. If you think Chubb is a part of the 3 year from now future, what are you talking about? Jalen Phillips, if he takes a crazy team friendly deal and they want to keep this project going, a lot of these guys won't even be here. So who's left after that? I want you to think about the roster. 3 years from now, name everybody you think is going to be on this roster 3 years from now. Just a brief moment of participation in the chat. In the chat, name everybody you feel like is going to be a part of this roster 3 years from now. That's what you got to do. Consider that. When you consider that, you ain't got nothing. You don't have anything. Listen to me, y'all. I don't even think Waddle gonna be here in 3 years. I don't even think Waddle's gonna be here in 3 years. I don't know. Who gonna be here? Kenneth Grant? Jump. I don't even know. Kenneth Grant is the only one that, and we don't even know. Malik Washington, maybe. Remember, when you get a new regime coming in too, those low level guys, you ain't my guy. I didn't draft you. Don't forget that too. When you get a whole new regime come in, a lot of these guys, man. This is why like Omar always say this. These guys playing for their future. And when I sit back and I think about it, man, when you're down like this, everybody's actually playing for their future. It's crazy. They really are. Everybody. Because when you go through the roster, you got less than 5 people that any of us feel good that's going to be here 3 years from now. Like we feel deep down, yeah, they're going to be here 3 years from now. The whole roster, and you probably can't get to 5 players. You probably can't get to 3. You probably can't get to 3. It might be nobody for real. That's crazy work, man. It's crazy. Hollywood Brown, does he have 3 touchdowns tonight? Anyway, but that's what they need to do. This is why I'm telling y'all, it's okay. I know the rough part is we ain't even done with this year yet, but telling me we got to do a whole nother year of this mess, y'all just have to understand. McDaniel and Tua might be here next year, man. They might very well be here next year. Tua and McDaniel. That's that Tannehill 7. We just feel like it should be 6, no question. Some of us felt like it should have been 4, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, both of them could be back next year. It could. And that's gonna be that year where they ain't got nobody on this roster, man. Whole bunch of young guys and more draft picks. That's what it'll be. But that's what we need to do. And then we need to find an actual good GM, general manager, somebody around the league who has a track record or has been directly under one of the organizations that's been on top of it. You try to go over there in the Lions office and say, "Hey, who's been driving these results like this? See if you can bring them over for a promotion." You go to one of those organizations. Might even want to go to Buffalo. What are they doing? See if you can get somebody out of Kansas City office. Philly. That's what you do. You got to get you a good GM. Not all these names on TV and other guys. You got to get you a general manager. Went through the rankings and have been in part of other winning organizations. Then after that year, unless McDaniel has worked some miracles or whatever it may be, he got to go. But this is what I would do. This is why I would keep McDaniel. Here's what I would do. If I'm Miami, I keep McDaniel. Tua start the season, maybe 5 games. Then you got to go to Quinn Ewers. And what you do is, matter of fact, what you do is, even in training camp, you tell Mike McDaniel, you're going to be building this offense around Quinn Ewers. Let's see what you can do. You'll have Tua for the first 5 weeks, and after that, you got Quinn. This is going to tell us how we want to move forward with you after the season. That's exactly what I would say. This is going to tell us how we want to move forward with you after this season. So if he works some wonders with Quinn Ewers and do something crazy, hey, at least we got to see what he can prove without Tua. Like with another guy who he actually drafted. He actually drafted. So that's what I would do with McDaniel. And he'll probably, and I'm gonna be honest with you, at this point, even for him, he may end up failing anyway. Then I'll go get me a head coach that very next offseason. But that head coach will come in. Tua will get cut, obviously, and we got nothing but youth on the roster. And I'm bringing that head coach in, and whoever the best quarterback prospect, because I know I got a top 3 pick right now in this whole scenario. I got a top 3 pick plus a few more because I traded out of my pick in 26. And in 2027, you let your new head coach pick his quarterback, and then y'all start building. And the salary cap situation will be healthier. Like, we can accelerate this to 27. You just need to keep Tua and McDaniel and keep purging the roster. That's what I would do. Find your quarterback in 2027. I know everybody like, man, Tua got to go and let's find him now. The one thing I'm terrified of, y'all. We get to thinking that when you need a quarterback, you go get him in the draft. When you need a quarterback, you go get him in the draft. Don't forget, that's not how the NFL works. Most teams get their quarterback in free agency. And I'm telling you now, Kyler Murray might be available. I'm telling you, it's a lot of these guys that might end up available that's going to get traded. And I do not want the Dolphins focusing on a quarterback next year, because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be one that they traded for or got in free agency that's going to start. But I'm scared of the trading ones because they put a little asset to say, let's try it with this guy. Let's see if we can do something with Kyler. Maybe our system's better for Kyler. I don't want to go through that merry-go-round of trying to Trevor Lawrence's of the world, Kyler Murray's, all of those guys. I can't. No, that's the worst thing that can happen. I'd rather Tua play it out one more year. I'm telling you, I don't want to get screwed with one of these quarterbacks that's just like Tua. They may have a different superpower, whatever it may be, but they are good enough not to be good enough. That's what I don't want to happen. But it's a high probability next year. Because y'all think we the only ones going through this? Y'all think that the Dolphins are the only ones dealing with this right now? Arizona dealing with it. We Kyler Murray. I know the Jags winning right now, but Trevor ain't all that. And that's bad for them. This is why I say, if you good enough not to be good enough, This year, they'll probably be okay with Trevor because they might win enough games but lose in the first round or something. That's why it's the worst. Gino, Kyler, all these guys, man. Only a handful of them that have a resurgence in their career. Only a handful of them end up actually like working out long term. Like look at Baker Mayfield, shocking the world. I mean, he's playing at an elite level. He's playing great football, but he also always had the intangibles and the dog in him. It's hard to find those in those bunches. It's hard to. I'm going to absolutely lose it if boy in March or something we breaking news Dolphins sign Russell Wilson. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why you don't want that to happen. You do not want that to happen. Just keep Tua one more year. Then then you go find your quarterback. Nothing will change until Ross is gone. Again, I talked about this a lot. I don't really blame Ross as much as many of y'all do. He's not a football guy. He's trusting in his advisors. The advisors are the ones that's failing. And the owner ain't gonna always just see that right away. What if we lose against the Browns, TD, man? I've already thought about that. And we not losing to no Browns. But boy, oh boy, if we do. We're not losing to the Browns. Like, I may have thought that we were gonna beat the Panthers and the Colts and could have almost guaranteed it. I can't guarantee you more than I can guarantee you right now. We gonna beat the Browns. But if we don't, man, if we don't, oh man. And word on the street is Kevin Stefanski might get fired tomorrow anyway. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. That team is bad. And believe it or not, Flacco going to the Bengals really hurting Stefanski because you could say you're not getting great quarterback play over there, which you weren't, but then Flacco just go get him a win right away with the Bengals right away. And and here's what can get him fired. You're sitting here talking about Dylan Gabriel is the guy. Dylan Gabriel, you drafted higher than Shadur Sanders. But I went back and I checked it out. I don't know if y'all caught it, but Dylan Gabriel was pretty bad today. Dylan Gabriel was pretty bad today. Wait, hold on. Did I say the Bengals? Who did Flacco go to? Who did Joe Flacco go to? Am I saying the wrong team? Or did he go to the Bengals? Browns, TD. No, the Browns traded him away, I thought. He went to the Bengals. The Bengals lost today? I thought they said the Bengals won. You're right. He lost though. Oh, I thought I was watching the TV tonight and they were saying Joe Flacco gets a win with the Bengals. Hmm. Well, I must have heard it wrong then. Bengals lost. Oh, lost in Green Bay. Yeah. I could. Man, I was literally watching tonight and I thought they were saying they won. And I was like, man, Green Bay lost. But okay, Bengals won. No. I thought he did. I was like, oh, well, Flacco must be making a name for himself. I said Browns as in what if the Fins lose against the Browns? Okay, I got you. TD is mixed up. Yeah. I was confused. I was confused. Flacco got a win by getting out of Cleveland. But listen, man, well, that's better for Stefanski then. But it's a train wreck over there with quarterbacks. That's the reality. Dylan Gabriel was bad. Dylan Gabriel threw the ball 52 times today. 52 or 54. One of those. Over 50 times and only had 4 completions over 10 yards. I want y'all to think about that. He threw the ball over 50 times today and only had 4 completions over 10 yards. He was pretty bad today. And it makes you say to yourself, okay, because people are like, well, Shadur would have been even worse. What makes people think that? I was looking at a lot of the film on it, and a lot of just bad throws. He sells it too, and sometimes it takes a while to get there. Sometimes he look like he got like a cannon, but sometimes it takes a while to get there. But they're a mess over there. So Stefanski, we don't even know if they're gonna have a head coach next week. But we can't lose to the Browns, okay? What I don't want to happen though, which would be devastating, right? We're beating the Browns or something. Dylan Gabriel, something happened to where Shador got to come in, and this kid come back and do it against us. His first opportunity. That would be so Dolphin. Y'all definitely can lose to the Browns. Well, I'm worried about their defensive line. They get at it. I can see where they can cause us problems, but Dylan Gabriel bad, man. But we've seen bad quarterbacks do stuff to us, but I feel like all those guys on the D line is like this one of them games where everybody get them 2 sacks. I feel like it's one of them games everybody get them 2 sacks against Dylan. And then everybody will go back to delusion. Yeah, the D line back, and all of them are great again. Yeah. So they defensive front though, they get at it, man, but we'll see. Gabriel has no protection. What's new? Who does? Y'all always talk about somebody ain't got protection. Who does in this NFL? Like, what we gonna point to 3 teams in the league that got real legitimate protection? Is that what we gonna do? TD makes a funny third person voice. I never listen to my self in a third person. I need to start going back and listen. I probably am funny. Tua has 10 picks already. Nah, I don't think he got 10, right, y'all? I think it's 7. Somebody double check for me. It better not be 10. How many Tua got? Somebody let me know in the chat. It can't be 10. Maybe total turnovers, but not 10 interceptions. 7 interceptions, yeah. Y'all keep telling me to check on Omar. I think it's over for Omar, man. I don't think you can save him from the delusion. I still was seeing him out here asking questions like, yeah, but what about this or what about oh my gosh. Make sure this is on testing. Okay. Yeah, Omar, man. I'll see him on Tuesday night. It'd be fun. Y'all be like, let's see how he go change it this time. Super chat. Let me see. I'll check it out. Mm. All right. Sleep Easy said scheming Ross had a scheme to get the best quarterback, Tom Brady. He had a scheme to get the best coach in Harbaugh. What will he do next? What happened to that mentality? It got caught. It got caught. That mentality got caught. That's what happened. Mm. All right, make sure I'm not missing any more super chats or anything. I think we should be good. All right, almost done. All right, yeah. Then we caught up. Dang, we bad at cheating. Yeah, we terrible at it. We terrible at it. Actually, two interceptions. Last one doesn't really count. What are y'all talking about? Why y'all saying that? He had three interceptions today. He had three interceptions today, and two of them were his fault. I don't want to hear it. Like, do we go back, right? Do we go say, well, Justin Herbert, all four of his interceptions got tipped at the line of scrimmage, which is actually true. All four of Herbert interceptions this year got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Do we go back and do that? No, he got four picks. He got four picks. Tua had three today, okay? And listen, another thing. Stop acting like that last play didn't matter. That was his game-winning drive. That was his game-winning. That was the drive that's supposed to be game-winning. If you're down and the ball is in your hand, I don't care how much time you got left. That's your game-winning drive. And how did his end? With an interception. And some stop it, man. He had 5 seconds. Well, I know a quarterback who ain't had no time on the clock either. And he didn't throw a short interception. He threw a precise short pass that ended up becoming the Miami Miracle. It ended up becoming the Miami Miracle. So I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, it was 5 seconds. Those plays work. It's rare, but it works. Execute to the end of the game. There was a chance to still win the game with 5 seconds left. So I don't want to hear it. You didn't even give him a chance. You didn't even give him a chance. You just threw a pick. You didn't even give a, oh my gosh, did y'all see that ending? Ridiculous chance. So that was his supposed to be game winning drive, and he failed. I don't want to hear nothing about the one before that. I'm not even trolling Sam the man. I'm dead serious right now. You give your team a chance to win every time you go on the field. You don't throw no lame duck pass with 5 seconds left and just give up. You execute that play as best as you can, and you never know what'll happen. Boy, we could have used the Miami Miracle today. At least give it a chance. Y'all love to just dismiss certain things. Well, that was that. That didn't really matter to make things better. No, you fight to the end of the game. Yes, he two would never give us a chance. Not a real one. He throws a pick on a hill lateral. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even think about that, man. The man threw a pick on a hill lateral. That's supposed to be the most open player on the field. Like, when the whole pitch back, the first person you hit is the most open person supposed to be. He couldn't even read that right. He couldn't even read that right. Oh my gosh, man. Oh man. Come on, man. Come on. Oh man. He threw a pick on a hell lateral. Oh man. Yeah, it's so funny to me because it's so true. Like the first play on a lateral play, literally like the most wide open person, and they run a little until they can't. Then they start pitching it back. Man, we threw a pick on that. Man, oh, you can't make that stuff up, man. I can't, man. I can't deal with this. And people would be like, "Oh, you just all you doing is hating." And by the way, man, this is what y'all gonna see out here on social media. These people are ridiculous. They're out here saying Tua doesn't play well and then gets a game-winning drive and the defense give it up and they blame Tua. Tua plays amazing early in the game and then one bad mistake late and y'all blame Tua. They literally out here talking about, well, when he played good at the beginning and y'all complain. If he played good at the end, how about play good for 4 quarters? How about play good for 4 quarters? People really think all you can ask of your quarterback is to put you in a game winning position at the end. It's not that easy. That's not how it works. What you do early in the game can dictate how the end plays out. For some reason, people think that no matter how bad we did early in the game, we're up by one now, so none of that really mattered. This is their fundamental belief. This is what they actually believe. It doesn't matter how many mistakes we had. It's 3 minutes left in the fourth, and we're up by one. None of that stuff earlier mattered. Wipe it all out how it went down. Only thing that matters is who does well or who screws it up right here. In the game, in the moment, you're correct. But when you evaluate the whole game in its entirety, you are so wrong. Maybe if you don't turn the ball over early in the game, if Waddle don't drop it, you don't throw a clumsy pick, in that moment, the Dolphins could be up 34-20. 3 minutes left. All of that's possible. And the Lions just lost. The Chiefs beat them. Now the Chiefs, low key, about to rattle off wins and nobody gonna notice until about week 13. Oh, the Chiefs one of the best teams. They way up here. Yeah, that's gonna happen again. Oh man. Special teams did us wrong too. That return was crazy, TD. Yeah, I mean the return was tough to the 40, but did it matter? Look at how much time they pretty much had to spare. Remember, those last three runs was just to eat the clock up. I mean, they got down there in 5 seconds regardless. I mean, maybe they don't get a great return. Maybe they start at the 25, 15 yards further away. They still would have been in field goal range after that one play. One thing that was big, though, was the missed field goal by the kicker earlier in the game. That missed field goal we had, that was critical. But here's the thing. I blame Mike McDaniel for that. You'd have been better off punting the football or actually going for it because you're going to put a kicker, your backup kicker, not even your starting kicker, the guy that you signed because Jason Sanders out, who you trust, you're going to put him in that situation that long of a field goal. I think it was a 57. Wasn't his long a 53? If I'm not mistaken, his long was a 53 and that was a 57. I don't think that was a smart decision by McDaniel. I'd rather have went for it or just punt the football. But the Chargers started out on that drive right there close to midfield and they drove. They got points off of that, if I'm not mistaken. Should have never went for that. Herbert shrugged off Jalen Phillips like he was a leaf. See? Glad you said that. It's stuff like that people don't evaluate. They don't evaluate, they don't say to themselves, hey, taller quarterback, bigger quarterback, stronger quarterback. Moments like that. And here's the deal. Tua wouldn't have got out of that. Tua would not have gotten out of that. That would have been a sack. Tua wasn't going to get out of that. And even if he did get out of it a little bit, he not going to switch the ball from his left to his right, plant his feet, and deliver the ball like Herbert did. Still putting himself at risk. Gets out of a sack, knowing pursuers are coming, switch his hands, set his feet, and hurry up and try to deliver it to McConkey, and that's the play of the game. That's the play of the game. Tua would have hit the ground. That would have been a sack, easy. And even if it wasn't sacked, he had him wrapped up, so Tua would at least try to get rid of it. Done play, dead play. Now here's the kicker. This is something y'all got to think about. The Miami Dolphins with Tua. Oh, a game over now. Kansas City won. The Miami Dolphins with Tua. Y'all got to think of it like this. Herbert did that, right? What are they doing? They fighting? Oh Lord. The game is over. What are they doing? They still fighting. Man, I don't know what just happened. Crazy work. Anyway, Um, I know they're not still. I think they were just separating people. Sorry, trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, Branch smacked Juju in the helmet, and Juju came back at it, and that's where it all started. Wow, that's crazy work. Yeah, he might get suspended. He might get suspended. Anyway, what I was talking about, what was I talking about with something with Tua and Herbert, I think. Yeah, yeah, just that last play, man, ended up being the play of the game. And here's what I want y'all to think about real quick. Herbert on third and long, right, on that play, escaped the pressure, flung it off, delivered it to Lad McConkey, and they get in field goal range. Has anybody heard anybody talk about the O line on that play? Has anybody heard anybody, including Chargers fans, talk about anything to do with the O line on that play? I want to know from everybody watching right now. Has anybody heard from anybody else about the Chargers O line being bad on that play? The answer is no. The answer is no. Nobody has mentioned that O line. You know why? Because when your quarterbacks make plays despite of, nobody talks about the O line and how bad it is. Because on that last play, if that was Tua, that would have been a sack. And what would everybody be talking about? If that was Tua, that would have been a sack. And what would everybody be talking about? The O line. They be talking about, look at how the O line blew it for us. Look at how bad the O line is. All we need to do is get in field goal range. Oh my gosh, look at the pressure right away. But Herbert makes a play in that moment, a moment that we all know Tua would have got sacked on. Herbert makes the play. Have you heard a peep about his O line, who were horrible on that play? The O line that was terrible on that play. Have we heard a peep about it? Exactly what I be talking about right there. How convenient to just blame them when your quarterback had a play to be made regardless of the pressure. And to us be obvious. Step into the throw and hit that wide open guy, but the pressure was coming right up his face. There's a play to be made right there. He gonna get whacked, but he can get it off. That's what I'm talking about right there. I'm good, Demarcus. Appreciate you asking, man. Herbert is a dog. That's why. Yeah, he is. He really is. But people want to know the difference between Tua and Herbert. Herbert ain't proved nothing, but Herbert give his team a chance to win. Herbert actually gave his team a chance to win. Herbert didn't hurt that at all. Herbert didn't turn the ball over. And by the way, Herbert is just as accurate as Tua, if you want to give Tua accuracy, which I really don't. TD, if we're being honest, it's all Brian Flores' fault. His treatment up to still has some after effects. He needs one more season. Oh my gosh, it's over, man. Let me tell y'all this. If you love Tua, you better enjoy these games while you can, because they number. Herbert played good in the second half. Herbert played great in the second half. Herbert played great in the second half. Yeah, because he was pretty quiet in the first half. He was real quiet in the first half. But that second half, he would lighten it up. Yep. And you know what was shocking about today? I didn't see many big boy throws by Herbert today. I mean, of course, some 15, 25-yard crossers. But y'all know that crazy, them crazy Herbert throws. I ain't see none. But in the biggest moment, he made the biggest play. Ooh, this Browns game, man. This Browns game. We won in 5. It's Browns and then Atlanta, right? Y'all let me know in the chat. Is it Browns then Atlanta? Atlanta, okay. And then I think maybe Washington after that, or am I wrong? Who's at the Atlanta? Is that when we go overseas? Browns, Falcons, Ravens, Bills, Commanders. I'm gonna tell y'all now, we better beat the Browns. Can't even guarantee it. They might beat us, but we should beat them, right? Falcons. I don't trust Miami versus the Falcons. We should win that game, but I don't trust Miami against the Falcons. Lamar will be back for the Ravens. Ravens gonna smack us. No Tyreek. Ravens gonna smack us. Bills gonna. I don't even see us being competitive with them again. Cause we probably done already start trading people off. And Commanders overseas. Yeah, I can't give us that either. At best, we might be 3-8 at the bye. We might be 3-8 bye week. And I don't know where that second win. I know Browns is one. I don't know who that second win is, but I'm just gonna give us one out of those games. 3-8. That's what we're gonna be. I think that's the next 5 games added on. That's going 2-3. We'll go 2-3 before the bye. Then we're 3-8, which means the best you can do is win 9 games, but you got to go 6 in a row. That ain't happening. It's not happening. Not unless some major injuries or something happen in the league to where we get a cupcake. But that's not good. And I'm gonna tell you now, this Browns Atlanta game, that's probably where you better go 2-0. If you don't go 2-0 versus the Browns in Atlanta, tell y'all now, man, that's gonna be a 1-4 situation before the bye. And that means the Dolphins could end up being 2-9. 2-9 at that point. Best case is winning 8 games at that point. If you win out, which ain't likely. But that's you gotta just go. I mean, at that point, 2-9, you gotta go for the number one pick. You gotta just give up. Hopefully, you've already sold everything by then. Yeah, Bucks and Patriots at the end of the season. Yeah, that ain't happening. Especially the Bucks. They'll be fighting to the end. Bucks ain't happening. Patriots, you never know. It's a long season. Guys get hurt, all kind of stuff. And it's a division rival. It's always gonna be a interesting game. But it is in New England, cold weather. Yeah, we got to come to the realization the Dolphins could easily only win 5 games, maybe 4. It's possible. We got to get our act together, but we got to start with the Browns. We got to beat them. Like you don't beat the Browns, yeah, we already one of the lowest of the lows. But yeah, you probably get your certificate this time for being just a trash team this year. You get your certificate if you lose to the Browns. And the crazy thing is I'm worried about the Browns. I feel like the pass rush gonna really get at Tua. It's gonna make him turn the football over. And then their defense, yeah, I feel like they might. I don't know. I don't trust. And that's a team that love to be all on top of them bubble screens and stuff. They play in the trenches. So I don't know. But that won't be good. But the only saving grace is they offense is terrible. And Dylan Gabriel just ain't good. So I don't know. It could actually go either way. It just depends on the type of game Dylan Gabriel have. Telling you now, that's gonna decide the game, Dylan Gabriel. How does he play? TD, it's windy in Cleveland. Tua can't throw dots. Woo! I didn't even think about that. Ain't that time of year? What's the weather gonna be like? Let me look this up. Cleveland Browns weather. All right, let me see. Miami Dolphins. Okay. 40% chance of light rain with a high temperature of 66. So the high is 66. Day and 40% chance rain in the day and 50% at night. Winds will be from the southwest at 16 miles an hour. 16-mile-an-hour winds. Let me see something. 16 mile per hour wind. All right. Yeah, we'll have a 16 mile per hour wind in an NFL game will have a significant impact, leading to a noticeable decline in passing stats efficiency and affecting kick operations. Expect a 5% decrease. And while they make rate might remain similar to 15 to 20. Mm. I didn't know what miles per hour starts being considered bad, but yeah, that's windy. That's windy. 16 miles an hour will negatively affect a quarterback's ability to throw the ball accurately downfield. This can lead to a decrease in both passing yards and touchdowns. So yeah, it is gonna be windy, but we'll see. We'll see. But here we are. Hey, I forgot that we gotta actually go to Cleveland. So this is a short week too. You gotta travel to Cleveland. This is a short week. Whew. Here we are. Anyway, man, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. It's been a day. Give me a nice shower in. Get ready to lay it down. We lost another one, y'all. We lost another one. We 1-5, y'all. Flicks, what's up, man? He said Mendoza gotta be it telling you, and he can do outs. We'll see. I get into these quarterbacks. Man, oh man, here we are. 1-5. Who would have ever thought, looking at our schedule? Who would have ever thought, man? TD on the couch, LOL. Yeah, man, I'm telling him, kicking back. Never seen you like this before, TD. Oh, I'm always up in my chair doing the stream. Yeah, sometimes I just kick back and try to relax. The Chiefs, they just used to winning. Man, Taylor Green. Yeah, we got to pick a quarterback eventually. Anyway, y'all, I'm out of here. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all get y'all some rest tonight, too. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Defeat Monday was supposed to be Victory Monday, but it's Defeat Monday. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate you. I'm out.